up and sit down.
You're listening to the Cheaters Never Pin podcast, a proud part of the Section 328 family. Follow us on Twitter at CheatersInVRPin. Now, live from ringside, it's Mr. Workrate and JC. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another edition of the number one wrestling podcast covering the NHL draft. This is Cheaters Never Pin. I'm JC. Next to me here at the commentary booth, my good buddy Tom, Mr. Workrate.
Your hockey insider.
You're right. You will be in Chicago this time tomorrow, sir.
I will, and I may not be conscious at that time, but
If
that's
you
neither here nor there.
if you-
The day before is, not that important for scouting purposes.
Listen, I need all of you back in one piece.
Well,
We need the entire crew. There's too much to handle here.
I've made the trip before, so at least I think I know what to be expecting. There's a couple of our companions that I don't think they have any idea what the hell they're getting into.
I was going to say, Tom, out of the entire Section 328 crew that's going, since most of them don't listen to this podcast, I'm pretty sure, who's not making it back?
My money's on Pat.
Yep, same here. All right.
Yeah.
At Kane's Prospects on Twitter.
Or at Pat Clark 27.
Correct.
CLARKE.
Right. Yeah, so we have a very short, brief episode we're recording right now. We're going to talk about Money in the Bank and do the match exchange, and that's it. Because in about 44 minutes, the lineup for the Vegas Golden Knights will begin to roll out at the NHL Awards. So we got hockey.
Yeah, we kind of want to see that, so
Yeah.
sorry. Now, of course, you're listening to this later, so you're like, you fools, I already know who's
You
on
already
the
know.
Vegas Golden Knights.
You're probably like, shit, the trade freeze is up in 20 minutes. Or it already is up. So yeah, busy day coming up, guys. So lots of good content on section328.com. The mothership, all about
If you
the
will.
NHL draft. If you will. So let's just
Can't
roll.
say mothership without doing the Dusty impersonation. That's just the rule.
Sorry. So yeah, there we go. There's our obligatory hockey talk. Since Mike Maniscalco wants to go and start a podcast, guess what? Now we got two to combat you, sir.
Yeah.
Bring it, Mr. Maniscalco.
But we like him.
You're also welcome here if you'd ever like to discuss wrestling with us.
Yeah, and I'm sure he would, actually.
Yeah, 'cause I'm sure he listens.
Because comparatively, of the two wrestling podcasts that would be within this general proximity, I think he would prefer ours.
Well, it's because you and I are a goddamn gym, Tom.
We are, but
If he comes on the podcast, do I have to clean it up? That's my only, because he has like standard stuff pulled.
Here's some backstage
Ooh.
knowledge.
All right, drop some insider shit on me, Alvarez.
Mr. Maniscalco, not the cleanest mouth in the world.
Ooh.
When the mic is turned off, he can get a bit blue.
I mean, I could show him the download numbers for this show, and he'd be like, "Oh shit, nobody's gonna hear this. That's fine."
Oh yeah, exactly. I don't think he would actually even bother to look at the numbers to assume that.
Right. He knows who you and I are, so he knows no one listens.
Yes.
All right, money in the bank was Sunday night. Sorry, that's the last chance I get to do that for a year. So.
Oh no, that's a shame.
Overall thoughts and impressions on the show, Tom, especially now that we saw the outcome of the final outcome of the women's match last night.
Okay, so I mean, for a 5-match card, or at least what we thought was going to be a 5-match card, which ended up turning into a 7-match card if you count the. I still want to call it the free-for-all because I live in 1998 and I was listening to another podcast talk about that era of the WWF, so maybe I'm still stuck in that kind of mode. But the pre-match where we had the Hype Bros and the Clones, but I mean, it ended up being 7 matches, and I mean, the card is always going to be built around Money in the Bank, and what we ended up having is one very good Money in the Bank and one that left a little to be desired. So the rest of the matches were essentially filler to me, at least I thought. I mean, you had your obligatory title matches, so that took care of 2 things there. You had Lana wrestling, which, yeah. And then, I don't have the card in front of me. I'm forgetting something.
Ooh, let me, tag match?
All right, the tag title match with the Usos. That was an excellent match.
That was the best match. Well, no, second best match on the show.
Yeah, you have to go with Money in the Bank there. But
yeah.
I mean, it's tough to remember, I guess, because they've been being the goof. Now, are we going to go through this match by match, or should I back up a little bit, or we're just shooting it right now?
Yeah, you just shoot it.
Okay.
Straight from the hip, sir.
All right, so then I'll go back to the tag title match. We've gotten used to, over time, seeing the New Day as the kind of goofy comedy spot, more promo than actual match wrestlers that they ended up growing into because of their gimmick and because of Raw, pretty much. And they ended up going into a match against the Usos that are now officially now the criminally underrated Usos?
Yeah.
Maybe not criminally, maybe, I don't know.
I can't think.
Okay.
I can't think of an adverb.
Okay, so you go look up your thesaurus, and I'll keep going. But you had the Usos that were wrestling a
generally
very good match.
Sorry.
Okay. Sure. Just random words. You had the Usos that were wrestling a very good match, very solid match, very good role for their match. And then you had the New Day that, I mean, I don't know how much they've been wrestling, say, on house shows as kind of a warm-up to this, but they haven't really been wrestling that much on TV or anything like that.
No.
So to see them go out there and start throwing all these new spots out there, which some worked very well, some not so much. I think I mentioned something on Twitter about if they blow any more spots, Sabu's going to show up. But the missed spots didn't necessarily take away from the match. I mean, there was one that was kind of unfortunate. I mean, not in a botch necessarily, but in that, like, you saw it on paper and you knew it was going to be a great spot if they were able to hit it, when one of the Usos, and I never know which, jumped off the rope and Big E caught him and was going to do, I think, the big ending or something on him, and there was too much momentum and he ended up dropping him. Like, too much forward momentum, so he ended up kind of like rolling through it instead of holding him on the shoulder. But right. They're human beings. There are areas that they can't actually. Physics kind of gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the match. And I mean, you hit on the fact it was sloppy in spots, but I've enjoyed the Usos so much as of late because they have an edge now. They're not just Apollo Crews and face paint, smile, flip, win the title guy. They're angry and I just love them now. I don't know. I can't think of, my vocabulary has escaped me today. But they're...
If you've got me carrying this podcast, maybe we should do this tomorrow.
live from the airplane. But no,
hey, Pat says he's getting the Wi-Fi, so
hey, But no, I think having them be more defined than they were before is helpful. New Day coming back after the absence after Kofi's injury is incredibly helpful because they feel fresh again. Which is nice because they're towards the end. I was like, all right, yay, it's New Day. All right, they need to do something new. But absence makes the heart grow fonder. And it's all 5 of these guys, which I guess you could even look at just the 4 that are actively wrestling in the match. But all 5 of these guys are great performers. They're good workers, and they were given time, which is important too. Now the finish was shitty, having them just powder out. But I mean, they didn't have a way out of it. They could not think of a better way out of it.
And see, something like that, I mean, yeah, I know it's a shitty finish, but something like that fits into the profile because they're making the Usos true heels, true dickish heels.
Right.
And that's what a dickish heel would do. I mean, I keep going back to the prototype of somebody like Flair, and it's like, well, yeah, if you're getting your ass beat, you realize that you're getting your ass beat. Screw you, I'm out of here.
Yeah. But I mean, you follow that up after the bullshit finish of the women's match. Women's Money in the Bank match. It's just like, oh, God. I feel like I'm watching a fucking 1999 Raw or Nitro. I'm like, stop it. Finish a goddamn match, please.
And we'll address that now, I guess.
Yeah, let's just do it.
The match, and I won't even get into the finish, which, again, it was kind of the mixed reaction because I know initially at first you're like, oh, I like it for the heel heat aspect of it, and then you think about it a little bit, you're like, oh yeah, I can see how that would be reflected on completely shitty the way they were building it up
now already. So.
Yeah, but my main complaint with the match was that, and I mean, I don't know if I can really be complaining or not, but you put all this aspect on a ladder match, Money in the Bank match, and over the last, how long they've been doing this, 10 years or so, you're almost guaranteed a great match with Money in the Bank. If anything, you have one worker, usually at best, maybe 2, that are more questionable. Maybe they're a stronger guy, not necessarily an agile guy, but most of these guys are decent spot monkeys that can do the spots off the ladder and the dives and things like that, and it makes it interesting and exciting and all that, and it's consistently a good match. With the women, I don't know if it's just the fact that, well, women don't usually do matches like this, or they hadn't planned spots, or it's just kind of the fear of, well, these are really dangerous spots a lot of times. But it just really seemed subdued. It was, well, I'm going to climb up the ladder. Oh, I'll hit you, you'll hit me, and then we'll walk back down the ladder. It was afraid. It was almost like they went through the match afraid that somebody was going to get hurt.
Right.
Which I get, but at the same time, if you're afraid, or the competitors in this case, and don't get me wrong, I do not blame them for 1 second, but if there's a concern about these spots that you're going to be doing in this type of match, or if the girls are ready to do this particular type of match because there hasn't been enough training, they haven't necessarily learned to do the spots or things like that, then don't do it.
Right. I mean, that's all it is they don't have the experience. They've never been given this type of opportunity. And then they're like, all right, here, go do a ladder match. What? I mean, how do you plan for that if you don't have the prior experience? And I know they've got the agents and all there to help them through it. And the male performers, too, can lend their hand. But I think, especially in a situation like this, until you do it, you don't know what you're capable of given the confines of a ladder match.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a thing of they wanted to save the spots necessarily because they knew the finish that they were going to do, and they knew that they wanted to do another one. Now, I don't know how much of that was planned or if it just was like, oh, we saw how badly the crowd turned and how social media ripped us apart. We're going to do something on the fly.
I feel like it was always the plan. Because Carmella's promo on Tuesday, which was great, had nothing to do with the backlash over Ellsworth getting the briefcase, being a man. It was all about the cheating, the heel aspect of it, which is the part I liked about that finish.
Right.
And stripped. So I think this was always the plan. And also it was the plan because SmackDown ratings are sliding drastically. And so to pop a rating the week before Cena comes back, let's have women's Money in the Bank again.
Yeah, I mean, and that way the women's Money in the Bank can be the highlight, because this Money in the Bank, you've got 2 Money in the Bank matches. You've got the women's match opening the card technically.
Okay.
And it's when you had all these other kind of matches for the women that were groundbreaking, historic, everything like that, it kind of stood out on its own. This seemed like it was we're going to have a girl one too. Now, when you have it on SmackDown, granted it's on free TV, but when you have it on SmackDown, you're putting it out there so that this is the showcase event. Your match is the main match. That's what people are going to want to watch for. At this point, like in the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, the women's match was a match that happened to also be on the card. And that's not what you want to do for something like this.
So are you telling me Jinder's not going to main event SmackDown on Tuesday?
I can't hinder Jinder.
He better. He's the modern day Maharaja.
He beat Randy Orton twice. In essentially the same exact match.
Right, except with the Singh brothers attacking his father to distract him. They copied spot for spot. It was because the first time it was so funny. The throw the one Singh brother over the table moment.
But we didn't get the Randy Orton. Look.
I know. I was. As soon as I saw them setting it up, I was like, he better do the look again, because that's what made it work last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orton Jinder was a match. It was good. I mean, it was fine. It felt like a championship match.
It was 20 minutes.
Yeah. Orton's on I don't know, since Sunday, I think Orton's on a different level. Seems like he's picking it up. Because, he gets into a rut sometimes and he just gets very randy. I don't know how else to describe it other than very even-keeled, not giving a shit Randy Orton. But I think Sunday being at home and in front of his father, and then Tuesday, Randy's got some fire under him right now, and I'm liking it. And I really want to see him go to India and RKO everybody.
There's a lot of people in India, just so you know.
Just 2 hours live from India. Randy Orton just running down the street RKOing people.
You're going to need more than 2 hours. That's going to be a WrestleMania length show.
Oh,
God. Bouncing around the rest of the card there. Lana's actually got wrestling gear, so that's positive. I wasn't sure if she was going to do the Miss Madness wrestle in the ball gown type deal. That being said, Naomi wrestled pretty decently. One thing I wanted to point out about that match was that Naomi switched from that ridiculous alternating bouncing kicks thing that she used to do to this, or she was holding on to Lana's arm or wrist and just started doing like kicks to her head.
I think that was
like over and over.
I think that was due to her selling that leg.
I don't know. I don't care. She needs to do that more often, because that was a great spot.
Yeah. And Lana was not bad. She was not as bad as I thought she would be.
Right.
She did a serviceable amount of work in the ring.
But I must stress again that Naomi's previous kicks move was like hitting the BABA finishing method that you would use in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out to beat Don Flamingo.
Yeah. I did like the cash-in tease here, which Carmella should have cashed in so she wouldn't have lost a briefcase, dumbass.
Yeah. You had your shot.
Yeah, and you blew it, kid. Unless she wins it again on Tuesday.
Which I think she's
Which
going
I
to.
think there is a giant possibility of that. Yeah. Did we just finish the card?
We didn't talk about Breezango.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, we skipped something else, too. Never mind. Yeah, Breezango had a mystery match after an amazing Fuji Vice segment.
Yeah.
Against the Ascension. I'm sure they won this in, let's see. Oh, I was going to say 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yes. But yes, before that, it was Tyler Breeze using Paulie's phone.
Yes. Connor got fat.
Yeah.
He's getting that Vader look, man.
And hey, that might not be a bad gimmick for him.
True.
But
then the highlight of the night, the debut of Mike and Maria Kanellis.
yes.
I popped so damn hard.
I heard you from like a city away.
The music started, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I saw the hearts, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to do the miracle gimmick. And they came out, and I was like, oh shit, they're doing the miracle gimmick. And they are. And I'm kind of happy. And then they did cut a dark promo Tuesday that was put on WWE.com as well. Basically doing the same thing. But the music and the graph, it is so disgustingly saccharine. Like, it's amazing.
Like, Bruce Pritchard's going to show up in full, like, Brother Love gear.
Yes.
Just to meet them.
That'd be great.
I love your love.
Oh, they need to do marriage counseling on Ms. and Maurice since they're all angry at each other now.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good...
Well, that would be a feud.
Yeah. Someday it should be, but it looks like they're subbing in Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel in favor of Maurice. Downgrade.
Well, yeah, but...
On every level.
I want them to do something with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
Yeah,
not
like,
necessarily this, but
release them back into the wild. Because they're taking up spot, which this is going to sound stupid. I know the argument you're going to make back already. We don't need people like that on the main roster when Bobby Roode, Cassius Ohno, Aleister Black, Hideo Itami are sitting in NXT purgatory.
And I guess what part of my thing is, too, is that the way NXT and WWE used to work and the way it works now is a little bit different in the sense that, like, if you didn't have anything at WWE level, or you're kind of plateauing and you're not even necessarily making it on main event, you got sent to NXT.
Right.
You got sent down there to do some work and that type of thing, and I guess that's not really an option now, just for the fact that, well, there is a bunch of talent at the NXT level, and
right.
Like you would send down your WWE people to NXT for short-term type angles or to work a new gimmick or something like that. But you've got too many people high up on the card anyway, so all you'd be doing at this point is sending down Axel just to put over Aleister Black or Rude or somebody like that.
It's better to have them doing that than just having their asses popped in fucking catering.
Yeah, well,
give them some work. They're talented, or they wouldn't be working for WWE.
We need a third show. Oh wait,
you mean a fifth show?
Yeah. Bring back superstars.
Well, hold on. Raw, SmackDown, main event, NXT, 205 Live. Okay, we need a 6th show, Tom. More content.
You don't need a whole 205 Live show. Just saying.
You do if it's done right, and it's done before SmackDown, and the Cruiserweights are on SmackDown. Anyway. We're never getting that wish.
And then the main event of that match, or the main event of that card, I should say. The person no one wanted to win. Oh, wait, that's Dolph Ziggler. I'm sorry.
No, I wanted Baron Corbin to win. He's the person that could benefit, that will benefit the most from having that briefcase.
Yeah.
And when he came out and teased with it on Tuesday, he looked like such a prick, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and he will. I mean, it's a good role for him. I mean, it sucks a little bit in a way to have Baron Corbin winning the main event of a pay-per-view, but at the same time, that's what Money in the Bank is for. It's for a guy like Corbin who's kind of at a particular level, but just needs that little boost more, and to put him into a main event type role.
Tom, if I'd have told you 12 months ago that in consecutive months, SmackDown pay-per-views will end with 1, Jinder Mahal standing tall, and then 2, Baron Corbin standing tall, what would you have done?
I would be like, that's weird that they made SmackDown like the development program, but good for them.
This match was killer. The highlight of the match is obviously the AJ Shinsuke face-off. Right? I mean, to me it is.
I'm sorry, were you waiting for me to disagree with that? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. The time they took to stare down each other, move the ladder out of the way, and then, man, they were going at it like they were in New Japan. They started working a little stiffer on each other.
Yeah, because I mean, it's two guys. They're probably thankful for each other. Like, oh, we can do our shit now.
Yeah, they've got each other to rely on right now, which is nice. And when this feud rolls around, my assumption is SummerSlam. Oh.
Would they do something? I don't know. I was going to say, it's like, would they do something to build to like an Iron Man type match at Mania?
A Shinsuke AJ Iron Man match. Oh dear God, Thomas.
But at the same time, I mean, they're not spring chickens anymore.
No.
Do you want them to go 60?
These two are smart enough workers, though. They could do it.
Yeah.
They would pace themselves out well enough. It would work. I mean, they're not going to do a 60-minute Iron Man match. It's not going to happen. But that would be amazing. Kevin Owens sacrificed himself for us Sunday night. God bless Kevin Owens.
People thought he was legitimately hurt.
Yeah. Well, he's still working with that broken hand. Or thumb, I mean. But, oh.
I'm still disappointed he's not using the Canadiatic spike or...
He still needs to wear that stupid... I don't know why he's not loading the brace on his hand. Be a good heel, Kevin. Loaded brace on the hand.
I don't know why it's red, white, and blue.
Should ask Bob Orton for tips. How to wear that brace for the next 4 to 6 months.
He was right there.
Yeah, this match was the match of the show. Far and above.
Which it was going to be. I mean, it would have been hard for it not to be.
Yeah. All the Money in the Bank ladder spots you want were included here.
Yeah. But thankfully, no one had their jaw completely broken into pieces.
Yeah, no injuries. Oh, the worst injury I think that happened. Did you see Tamina's arm Tuesday night?
No.
Like, I guess it would have been her left arm. Like, the whole backside of her upper arm was black and blue. I was trying to think, like, when did she take that kind of bump? I was like, oh, girl, that is rough.
I mean, they did a couple of bumps. Not that many, but they did a couple.
No, yeah. But anyway, that was Money in the Bank. And the whole storyline coming out of it is, well, that was a shitty show, so let's do it again next week.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, who went full dad mode on James Ellsworth. That was great Tuesday.
Well, did you see the video that Bree put out?
No, I missed this.
There's a little like YouTube video that Bree put out that was like her pretty much like going off on Daniel saying like he's got to do something, and he's like, yeah, I got to do something, and like she's like egging him on and the whole thing. But
that's funny.
Yeah.
I guess the only other super major things to note from WWE this week, Enzo and Cass broke up.
And a tear ran down his cheek.
Just one single tear. I was so depressed at the end of Raw because of that. And I mean, it was one of those things I was like, everything Cass is saying about picking up Enzo's slack and having to win every match for him, I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
But it made me sad. I was very upset.
Because Enzo's a little puppy, and he's the pathetic little puppy. That's what he's always been.
Yep. That's his role.
Enzo and Cass are literally like the cartoons from like Looney Tunes, where you have the little tiny dog and the big giant dog, and the little dog usually like bounces around the big dog. It's like, we gotta go get him, boss. We gotta go get him. We gotta go get him. Huh? Yeah, we're gonna go get him. Okay. Y'all be best friend, right? That's Enzo and Cass right there.
Yep. They should have been kept together longer, but they were so mishandled after they got called up, and got kind of stale because nothing ever changed with them. So it was, as much as it wasn't time, it was time.
What's going to be great if they and they won't do this, but like you're going to have Enzo Amore matches, and Enzo should come out and start to do the routine, and then he starts to do the thing about Big Cass, and it just like stops, and he like starts to cry again.
He just sits down on the ramp and starts weeping. And then,
and this right here, right here, it used to be right here.
Roman Reigns has challenged the winner of Lesnar Samoa Joe at SummerSlam for the title. That was his announcement. Then he had a match with Joe, but not before Braun Strowman miraculously returned early.
Beep, beep, beep.
And distracted Reigns, and then came out and attacked him. Then picked up a mic and said, "I'm not finished with you yet," and attacked him again.
And like the crowd popped
as the crowd's chanting one more time. So Strowman's back. They will have an ambulance match at WWE Great Balls of Fire.
How many ambulance matches have you seen in your lifetime, do you think, JC?
10?
You have?
6, 10? I feel like they used to do them all the time in the Attitude Era.
I don't remember ambulance matches. Maybe like stretcher matches or something. I guess
maybe 3 or 4. I don't know.
I don't know. But like, Braun throws out the term stretcher ambulance match, and like Michael Cole just starts talking about it like, oh, right, ambulance matches. We have those all the time.
Well, we just had one, a year and a half, 2 years ago with Wyatt and Ambrose?
I don't know. I don't watch the product. I'm sorry. I'm totally unqualified.
Any other G1 participants are out? Kota Ibushi is back, baby.
To a pop. Did you...
I did. I watched the video. The pop when his name came up was insane, especially for a Japanese crowd.
I was going to say it was like polite applause for everyone. Like, oh,
You get
Yeah,
you get
I
some
like him.
cheers
I like
for
him.
like Suzuki and those kind of people. Kota Ibushi. Wow!
Because that was the big surprise. I mean, like they had Zack Sabre Jr. and it's like, oh, okay, he's going to participate, but Zack's been wrestling for, as part of Suzuki Gun, so you're like, oh, okay, well, he's good. The surprise wasn't that he was there. It's a little bit of surprise that he's in the tournament, but okay, that's cool or whatever. But yeah, Kota hasn't wrestled kayfabe in New Japan for what, 3 years or so.
Closer to 2. I think it was right before Cruiserweight Classic. So closer to 2. Ow. That was my face on the mic.
All right.
Sorry, I was real distracted. Side note, Brent Burns is real gross, guys.
Yeah. He's a Wookiee without teeth.
He's walking down the carpet at the TAM Awards, still looking like a homeless person.
Is
like
he wearing
Brent,
shoes?
Did not pan down. No idea.
Because he is big on the flip-flops.
Oh, I am too, so I feel him there. All right.
Yeah, but not for formal events.
True. All right, let's move on. Match exchange. Tom.
Yes.
Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett.
That match is still going on. My God.
So I forgot I gave you an hour-long version of that. Whoops, because they've wrestled several times.
My attention span's like 5 minutes. I'm lucky I got through one 60-minute match with
Okada Omega.
and Omega. That's my quota for like the next 2 years, or until next January 4th,
or until we get our Shinsuke AJ match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, which isn't happening, at least not for 60 minutes. But anyway, yeah, I mean, excellent match. I love some of the spots. There was a Hurricane Rana spot that Lee did, where it was like the Hurricane Rana off the top rope, but it was done to him and he managed to land on his feet anyway, but still kind of stunned himself a little bit. And then worked it into a double crossbody at the same time type thing, which kind of spun each other around it. Yeah, there were a lot of good spots in the match. I mean, I enjoyed it. I
love the Carolina Caveman. He's so good.
It's always kind of weird, again, watching matches in like an arena that's about as big as like,
that's the CWF Sportatorium.
Yeah, well, it's about 5 foot by 5 foot.
They have a luxury box you can rent that comes with unlimited concessions all night. I'm not even kidding. This is a thing. We're going to go at some point.
I think we may have to now.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't have any other particular notes from it, because if I actually watched this whole match and took notes throughout the whole thing, I could probably write a book about it, I guess. But overall, I liked the match. Too long for me, just personally. It's, again, that Omega Okada match was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
it was perfectly done. But I will give that one 3 3/4 stars.
Ooh, okay. All right. I had the chamber.
I gave you a match.
I did. I watched it today on my lunch break at work. El Gigante, which I'd never seen before.
I watched it too. A couple of days after I gave it to you. So
all right. So it was El Gigante, which I had no idea was Giant Gonzalez.
Yes. Sorry.
Because I saw him and I was like, that's big. Why did Vince not? Oh, yeah, never mind. Once I saw his face. Sting and the Steiners versus Cactus Jack, Vader, Abdullah, It's somebody who I'm blanking on completely at this moment.
Yeah, I am too.
All right. Well, anyway, it obviously didn't matter. All right. So I'm gonna straight shoot with you for a second. I had every intention of watching this match and doing everything I could to give it a 5-star rating, jokingly. Because apparently people don't really like this match.
So how'd that work out for you?
Tom, I'm going to give it 4 stars unironically.
Okay.
I enjoyed the shit out of this. Because I was so sports entertained by just the madness of the presentation. So I had no idea what the rules of this match were until JR explained them. So it's basically a Hell in a Cell like structure without a roof because of the way it extends around the ring. After a random amount of time, a second cage descends in with an electric chair in it. The idea is to weaken one of your opponents to the point where you can put them in the chair and someone flips the switch hanging inside of the cage to electrocute the shit out of them.
Assuming, of course, the switch hasn't already flipped during the middle of the match.
Multiple times to where Nick Patrick has to continue to fix it.
Cactus Jack actually came over to it to, like
hold it up.
They're like, oh, he's going to pull the switch. Like, no, he's putting it back.
Well, the problem was they should have designed it to where you flip the switch up to turn it on instead of down. Problem solved. It's the set designer in me. Here are my notes. He's called El Gigante because he's big.
Yes, it's literally the Gigante.
Ref cam? Or the referee cam? Fucking sweet.
The referee cam.
We need more of that. That needs to make a comeback.
Caused a little bit
I
of
don't
vomit.
understand how Kevin Dunn is not all about that shit because that seems like something he would love. Holy shit, people are popping out of caskets for no reason.
Yeah.
That was even the first time it happened. JR was like, oh, that guy just popped out of that casket. And I'm like, oh my God, that did happen. That's an amazing element to this match. As they're lowering the electric chair in, they're playing like electric zapping sound effects. Holy shit, that's amazing. They kept calling them the ghouls. Looked like sanitarium workers in whiteface carrying a stretcher down the ramp to pick up the victim afterwards. Awesome. No one got Hep C, I'm pretty sure. That's amazing. Thanks, Abdullah. I don't know what it was. And I just enjoyed it for just the sheer madness of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was different. I mean, it's... but, I mean, just the jumblefuck that it was. It was like
such a
making up... Yeah, it was making up the rules as they went along, pretty much. And
I love at one point JR says, we apologize, fans. It's really hard to call this kind of chaos, but that's just what the nature of this match leads to. Or something like that. And I'm like, God bless you, JR, that you and Shivani are going through with this. I don't know. I was like, when it ended, I had a giant smile on my face. And I was like, then I guess this worked. So 4 stars for the Chamber of Horrors for me. What do you got for me this week?
I have the match. I want to see if it's actually available on YouTube.
Okay, I'll give you yours while you search.
Okay.
So, one of these names came up in talking about the G1. The other one came up in talking about Money in the Bank. So let's combine them together. From Rev Pro TV number 6 in the UK, I present to you Shinsuke Nakamura versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Ooh.
Real stiff meets real technical. I hadn't seen this match in the past, and I was like, huh. I gotta show Tom this. Yeah. It's exactly what you want it to be. It's about 17 minutes long. quick match, so it's not 60. Very, very good.
Okay. I did the search. I found it on YouTube, so it's now eligible. Because it came from a pay-per-view that should be on the network, but is not, due to, I guess, rights questionability. I have it on VHS. It was from the When Worlds Collide pay-per-view, which was the pay-per-view that the AAA promotion promoted with World Championship Wrestling. Mainly AAA, but WCW kind of threw a guy or two in there and helped distribute it nationally. But the match, which was not the main event, but was essentially the main event, legendary Técnicos El Hijo de Santo and Octagon put their masks on the line against the hair of the dreaded Los Gringos Locos, Eddie Guerrero and Art Barr. You want to talk about heat? My good lord.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Now, you got to understand that this match is held in LA. So you're close to the Mexican border. The gimmick for Eddie and Art was they would wear these American tights and talk about the various propositions that were supposed to, like, kick immigrants out of America, and they made pretty much every, like, racist taunt that you could think of. I'm 13 seconds into the match just to make sure this is the match that I'm thinking of, and Art Barr is going to ringside looking at, like, the crowd and making swimming motions to them for swimming across the border. Eddie has a prime mullet here, which, as you know, Eddie can grow a prime mullet. But yeah, the heat is off the charts here. But not just that, because I gave you that Canadian Stampede match because of the heat, not necessarily for the wrestling. The wrestling is off the charts here too. You know what Eddie can do. Del Santo and Octagon are both fine wrestlers. Art Barr is actually a hell of a wrestler too, and he ended up he passed away not long after this match. And it was this match that got Eddie noticed by ECW and got him brought in, which then got him noticed by WCW and just developed his career here. But yeah, it's an incredible match. It's actually on YouTube.
Okay.
I was just looking to see what I actually looked up for it, but just type in El Gringos Locos When Worlds Collide and you'll find it. If not, I'll send you the link. But
okay.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite matches, and it's I believe the best 2 out of 3 falls match. And again, mask versus hair, so yeah.
A lot on the line.
Yeah.
Tom, there's a band on stage with all that I've never seen before with the NHL 100 legends, so we need to go home.
Is it Train?
I don't think so.
I just assume it's Train. It's always Train.
All right, Tom. Tell the people where they can find you on the internet, especially this week for NHL draft coverage.
If you go onto the Twitter machine, look for me at Mr. Workrate, at MR Workrate. Again, I'll be in Chicago until Sunday, leaving tomorrow. There will be general debauchery going on, but we'll be trying to cover the draft there, and I'll still be watching and probably showing other people the WWE Network. So I'll be spreading my wrestling knowledge while at the same time also trying to get a little bit more hockey knowledge. So
cool.
That'll be me for this weekend.
Yes. I will be dropping the expansion draft and everything related hot takes over on the Twitter machine at JCBobbitt, JCBOBBITT. And I'll be at the draft party at PNC Arena on Friday. So if you see me, too sweet me, bro.
As with my family, so they'll
Yes.
be there in my place, and my kids know about wrestling too, so they will talk to you extensively about the Attitude Era and DX.
And beer's $4, so who knows what you're going to talk to me about.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Find the show on Twitter at CheatersNVRPin, and find us on Facebook, facebook.com/CheatersNeverPin. You're listening to the show. I'm not going to list all the places you can find us, but we're everywhere finer podcasts are. And then rate, review, and subscribe to those places too. Go to CheatersNeverPin.com. Click the Patreon button, give us your money. Click the Amazon button and give us more money. I think that's about it.
I think that covers it.
Very good. Well, for this very brief, off-the-wall edition of Cheaters Never Pin, I'm JC.
I'm Tom.
We'll catch you on the flip side. Have fun in Vegas, Cam.